guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah, and today we're gonna bring it back to old school YouTube and do a tag video, a book recommendation tag video. Miss Steph Bohr, Queen of BookTube, made this book tag video. I really wanted to follow along and recommend some books following these questions that she made. I also saw Lauren post this video a couple days ago. Go watch their videos too to get some more recommendations. So let's go ahead and dive right into this book tag. So the first question is a book you tell people is your favorite. I've been telling people my favorite is Where the Crawdads Sing. Now, this is an amazing book. Is it like my top? No, but it's such a good book and I tell people that it's my favorite, and I feel like a lot of people know this book and will recognize the title because of the movie too that just came out. Next question is a book that is your guilty pleasure, and I have to say, Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. I love this book, and I know Colleen Hoover is pretty controversial. Like, people either love her or don't care for her, whatever, but I absolutely loved this book, and occasionally I'll go back and reread certain pages. So I'd have to say this is a guilty pleasure book for me for sure. Number 3 is a book everyone loved, but you didn't. Beach Read by Emily Henry, and I know people are probably going to hate me for this. I liked the book, but it wasn't a favorite. I didn't fall in love with the characters. I didn't fall in love with the story, and I've like really tried. It was still really good, but I didn't. Everyone else loved it and I didn't. Next is a book you read the fastest, and I have to say The Inheritance Game. This book, the chapters are short, the pacing of the book is so quick. It's such a good story with riddles, like a little touch of romance. Like, this book is such a quick, easy read. It really grips you from the beginning. It's so good. I definitely read this the fastest. A book that deserves more hype, hands down, Twice in a Blue Moon by Christina Lauren. This book I loved so much, and then I made my sister read it and she loved it just as much as me, and I don't get why more people don't talk about this book. It is such a fantastic second chance love story about Sam and Tate. They meet on a vacation abroad for 2 weeks. Tate shares a really big secret with Sam, and Sam betrays her. And now it's 14 years later, and Tate is now an up-and-coming actress. She's on the set of her big break movie, and she sees Sam again. And so now they have to work together on this film set and confront each other about what happened 14 years ago. So good. Very underhyped book. A book that is becoming a movie or TV show, Daisy Jones and the Six. Hands down. I need to stop saying that. Daisy Jones and the Six TV show is coming out March 3rd. I am so excited. I just reread this because I loved it that much, and I'm so excited for the show. 2 songs off the Aurora album are already out, and I cannot wait to watch this story come to life. A book I have reread the most, I'm going to say, for this one, I'm gonna say A Not So Meet Cute. I've read that book twice. Any book I've reread, I've only read twice, and I just started rereading books. So I've reread Daisy Jones and the Six, The Fine Print, Terms and Conditions, A Not So Meet Cute, and So Not Meant to Be. And those are the only books I've ever reread. I am now in my era of rereading books, I guess. Question 8 is a book from a genre you don't typically read, and I'll have to say The Alchemist. This novel is just a story, has very good life lessons in it. It kind of says like, oh, you know, he's searching for this destination, but it's really the journey is the most important part and what you're learning along the way. So I typically read romance and rom-coms and some thrillers, so this is definitely outside of the genre I typically read. A book that deserves all the hype it gets is Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren. I know this is so many people's favorite books, and I think it's a favorite for a reason. I think this book is just such a great second chance romance, friends to lovers book. I will probably be rereading it sometime this year. Definitely deserves all the hype it gets. Number 10, a book I usually recommend when someone asks me. I typically will give 2 recommendations. I'll give a thriller and then a romance, also depending on the person if I know that they've read this or not. But generally, I would say The Silent Patient is definitely a go-to recommendation I give. I think it is such a great book. The twist really got me at the end. I was really captivated the entire time. I didn't see that coming, so I think it's a great book to read, but also like a good introductory book as well. A romance that I am now going to start recommending everyone to read is 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. I just read this a couple weeks ago, and hands down, like, fantastic story. It's a really great romance book. Without being like too cheesy or anything. I think it was also a Reese's book club pick, so if Reese Witherspoon's recommending it to people, I should too, I think, right? Next question is a book with your favorite characters, and for this I'm just gonna say the whole Off-Campus series. I love all the hockey players and their friendships with each other, and then the relationships that they have with their girlfriends and how the girlfriends interacted later on and how they became close, and if they were like real life people, I would want to be their friends. The core 4 group of guys, like Dean, Garrett, Tucker, and Logan, like they just seem like such a fun group of guys. I love their dynamic. So yeah, Off-Campus series, favorite characters. Next question is a book you would wish you would live in, and I was kind of debating the Off-Campus series for that, but I would have to say The Fine Print in the Dreamland Billionaire World. I would definitely want to live in this book. I would want to live in this book because billionaires. I mean, do I have to say more? They're billionaires. Hello. Of course I'd want to live in that world. Number 13 is a book I thought I would hate but ended up loving. And I guess for this one, I would say maybe in another life. I kind of was unsure going into this, like how I would feel about it, but I really ended up loving this book. One decision you make, how is that going to affect your life? Like the butterfly effect. Does she go home with her best friend, or does she leave the bar with this guy? If she goes home with her friend, we get one storyline with all those decisions after, and then the other storyline is if she goes home with the guy, like what happens then. I ended up really loving this book. I was a little skeptical at the beginning. A book that made you cry. Brightside by Kim Holden. I sobbed so hard. I had so much snot coming out of my nose because I was crying so hard. This book is so fantastic. Such a great story. It has great friendship representation. It has such a beautiful love story, but also just the main character, Kate, her nickname is Brightside because she is just sunshine, such a positive person, like making the most of your life. And wow, this book wrecked me. And lastly, a book you wish you could read for the first time. And I'd have to say for this one, Before We Were Strangers by Renee Carlino. This is the very first book I read during the pandemic, which started my whole reading journey and me getting into reading for the first time in my life. And so I would love to read this book for the first time again, experiencing that and then having that craving to have that feeling again that I wanted to chase and start reading again. So I would have to say that. It was a really good book. It's love to hate to love, friends to lovers to strangers to lovers again. Like that book really got me, and I'm so thankful for that book that it got me into reading, and I would definitely want to read it for the first time again just to see if after reading all these other books, like, does that feeling still uphold? I don't know. I always think that's so interesting is like all the books I read when I first started reading, I'm like, would I like them again now? Let me know if I should do a video like that where I reread old books that I love. I know Destiny Sidwell just did a video like that. She reread her 5-star reads, and were they still 5 stars? So let me know if I should do a video like that. But that is all from me today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll leave the questions down below in case anyone else wants to do this tag video. If you want to answer the questions in the comments below, please do. I'd love to hear your thoughts about it. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye.